We're live. We're up and running. I'm having a hard time getting this phone to stand up like my other one used to. So I guess we're just going to hold the phone. All right. What's going on? Man, we got some folks coming in. We're back, folks. After being missing for a couple weeks. B-Law, do you miss me? Of course I miss you, Matt Scotch. Why would I not miss you? What up, Jay Laugh, fishing in the city? Everybody's joining us tonight. Got a big crowd coming here tonight. Top 5 baits is back, folks. It's 2019. It's time to catch more and bigger fish than ever before. I mean, when all you think about, when everything that it controls you and consumes you is fishing, when fishing is life, you need to go get Fish Life decal, Fish Life app. You can go buy all that Fish Life stuff. Anyways, as you guys know, we do have the app available for Android, Fish Life, great fishing information on some of our lakes. We've got, let's see, 5 more lake packages coming soon that we're going to add into there. No fish catching fisherman. That's awesome. Awesome. Good fishing YouTube name. Yep, awesome. Also, guys, we got decals, we've got koozies, we've got the tumbler Yeti type cups, and we're going to have apparel. We might even have some new eyewear coming at some point this year, maybe, if we can get things worked out, details on that. So awesome. So let's talk about what's going on out at Lake Fork, or just Texas in general. My boy Ronnie Kelly's down there at Falcon, and he's experiencing some of this too. Like, we've had so much rain and so much cold. The water levels are fluctuating, just crazy fluctuation in water levels. Water color is dirty. The water's cold. And you add all that up and it makes fishing real tough. Now, that being said, it is Lake Fork. We do call it the Goat Lake for a reason. And for all those other lakes that want to try to lay claim to be in the Goat Lake, okay, what is your lake record? It's not as big as Forks. There was a 12-pounder caught at Lake Fork on Saturday. So it just goes to prove that even as tough as this fish, which is about as tough as it gets here lately, any cast, any moment, the fish of a lifetime is waiting on you out there at Lake Fork. It's just insane. So, that being said, let's talk to you guys about some of the baits that I'm using right now to get the few bites that we are able to get out there on the Goat Lake. Yes, I was on Lake Fork today. Yes, we had some bites. Yes, we caught fish. Like, not anything to brag about, but we did get some bites. We did put fish in the boat, so that's the way it is. Right now, the number one bait seems to be, today, it was the Tiger Truce lipless crankbait, the Quake 70 from 6 Cents Fishing. Hey, if you want to go to 6centsfishing.com and order something, be sure when you're ordering it that when you get to the checkout screen, punch in the promo code Your Lake Fork Guide, get a 10% discount. All right, the number 2 bait, which could be number 1, honestly, is the 3/8 ounce white chatterbait. Like, if you'd asked me this yesterday or the day before, the white chatterbait would have been the number 1 bait. Those are really the 2 baits that you can depend on. You can go get up in that grass and grind and grind and grind and catch them. Now, that being said, the flipping jig is coming at number 3. A 1/2 ounce black and blue 6 Cents Divine Hybrid flipping jig, or black and purple, is my number 3 bait for this week. Number 4, it's going to be the 6 Cents Movement 80X. Wintertime is 6 Cents time, if you can't tell. I use a lot of 6 Cents fishing products in the wintertime for sure. Movement 80X shallow crankbait deflects off wood, causes fish to react. That's why it is number 4. Number 5 is going to be the old wacky worm. Just a old whack attack. Old ZW, be proud. Holy cow, there's a lot of you guys here tonight and a lot of questions and a lot of comments, and I'm having a hard time to keep them up. Can I get a shout out? I can answer that question. Can I get a shout out? The answer is absolutely. Got 'em fishing. Holla. There's your shout out, dog. What is the name of the bait again? The name of what bait? So the top 5 baits were, number 1 was the Tiger Truce colored Quake 70 from 6 Sense Fishing. Number 2 was a 3/8 ounce white chatterbait. Number 3 was a half-ounce black and blue Divine Hybrid flipping jig. Number 4 was 6 Sense Movement 80X. And number 5 was the Wacky Worm, a wacky rig trick worm with a half nail weight in the head. Did I put that orange skirt on the back of my jig? Yes. I actually just tied that. I tore the old skirt off and retied a completely new skirt on that particular jig. Creek channels, average depth to look for, 5, 10, 20. Just depends. Right now it can be anywhere from 12 or 13 in the bottom to 25. Just depends on the day, depends on the recent weather patterns. Trying to catch up on some of these questions. When will the swim bait bite get kicked off good? Well, that's for me. I like a little bit better water clarity for a swim bait bite, and we've had so much weather that it's going to be kind of hard to predict when it will get kicked off good. The one thing I can tell you is when the water finally warms up and a lot of the fish move shallow, you should be able to throw weedless swim baits around even when the water's not clean and get reaction bites out of them. But to get that really good swim bait bite day in, day out, you need a little clarity so those fish can track that bait and follow it before they commit to it. So that's going to just depend on Mother Nature as far as when it gets good, honestly, guys. We got to get that water stabilized and cleaned up a little bit. Somebody asked me, did I hear the if dish being caught in FLW? I have no idea what that means. Did I win my fantasy football league? No, I did not, Kareem Hunt. Thank you. Somebody asked me about fantasy football. I did make the playoffs. So, guys, I'm sorry. I was trying to get all this app stuff ready. I got real busy, and I kind of overloaded my schedule as far as trying to get the extra videos out. But, no, I had Kareem Hunt in the playoffs. He kind of set me up for failure by giving a girl a patty cake on the rear end with the top of his foot. And so, no. I did make playoffs. I finished 3rd overall, even though I lost Kareem the first week of the playoffs. It was awful. I hate you, Kareem Hunt. Moreover, I hate the NFL for all their stupid rules. He didn't even do anything to that girl. He barely touched her. What size hook am I using on the new Poacher? 6/0, 7/0 beast hook, or do you prefer the flashy swimmer with what? I do not prefer the flashy swimmer with the Poacher. I mean, you could use it, but you can use either a 6/0 or an 8/0 on the Poacher and get away with it. What line do you use when you're pulling lipless crankbait through grass? I like to use 30-pound braid. Power Pro is the brand. Just to ask, since there are so many people here trying to book a trip over, talk to you guy, I was hoping to speak with you. Oh my goodness gracious. April, I think, only has 1 day left, and it's April 2nd. I only have 1 date available left in April. I believe it's April 2nd. So if you want it, I would suggest getting it booked right now because it'll probably be gone by tomorrow. What's the water temps at Lake Fork now? So 2 days ago, the water temps at Lake Fork were like 55, 56. Today, they were like 49, 50. Yeah, the water temps are definitely warmer. Somebody said the water temps seem like they're warmer this year than they were. The water temperature is a lot warmer right now this year than it was last year. And what's really weird is the water temperature throughout October and November. Well, once we got to the end of October, once it got cold, it got real cold real fast as far as water temp goes. So the water temps in the fall were actually a lot colder than they were last year. And the winter water temps have been a lot warmer than they were last year. It's been a weird weather year. It's been strange. Lake Gunnersville checking in. Water high, muddy, and fast. I feel you. I hear you. I understand exactly what you're talking about. How is that creek bend bite? The creek bend bite is slow, but every single bite out there is slow right now. But the big ones are starting to show up. Like the big girls are starting to make their presence known. So it's just a matter of time at this point. Gonna be on Fork middle of March. Hope it's as good as last year. We smoked them. Yep. It was pretty good the middle of March last year. I hope it's that good too. What are the next few lakes that will be added to the app? We are currently working on Lake Conroe, Lake Texoma, Lake Louisville and Grapevine, Lake Lavon, and Lake Ray Hubbard. All those packages are kind of under construction, under agreement situations right now. Where is your best type of structure to fish this week? Man, I'm splitting my time between the creek channel swings and deeper water and the grass edges and the drains and the grass flats. I'm kind of 50-50 right now. Do I think that the bass will spawn early this year, just like they did last year? You people are crazy, man. They didn't spawn early last year. Y'all out of your mind. No, they didn't spawn early at all. They spawned a little late. You know, normally we have bass spawning up here in like February, and we didn't last year at all. Like, not, maybe a few that you couldn't see, but like not really. They didn't spawn late last year, early last, like they spawned right on normal time last year. Actually, maybe a little late, so. No, I don't know that the bass will spawn early because of I don't know, guys. How am I supposed to know? The water temperatures and everything's been so weird this year. Like, there's no way for me to know. I don't know. It just depends on the water temp, really, where it goes. Am I doing any Carolina rigging? I'm not using any Carolina rigs right now. What's the average depth you're targeting right now? Well, it depends on which technique I'm talking about. If I'm talking about the grass, then I'm targeting like 2 foot, 3 foot. If I'm talking about the creek bends, then it can be anywhere from like 12 or 13 foot to all the way down to like 25 foot, depending on which creek bend, what day, what the recent weather trend was. Like, you have to be agile this time of year with all the crazy weather we're having. What rod do I throw a 130 whopper plopper on? 7.6 heavy, 6 cents Lux is what I throw a whopper plopper on. I can't predict. Somebody says, LOL, can't predict the weather a month in advance. I can't predict what's going to happen tomorrow. I know I'm supposed to be fishing tomorrow with some folks, and it's supposed to be raining and 40 degrees. Probably it's going to be 55 and sunny. Like, you never know right now. Things have been crazy. Any word on who y'all are getting to put the Louisville info up? Yeah, of course I know who we're getting to put it up, but we're gonna hold that. We're gonna hold that tight to the vest till it's time to announce it. But we will be announcing the Louisville contributor, and it's legit, guys. It's a good name. Have I ever used a Roman-made mother? No, they don't even allow me in the same county as a Roman-made mother. That's way too valuable for me to mess with. Am I going to Fun and Sun? Oh, that's the part I forgot. Hey, guys, come hang out with me Saturday at Fun and Sun if you're going to be around. I will be at Fun and Sun for about half of the day on Saturday. I should be there somewhere between 10 and 11 a.m. and I'm going to try to stay there as long as I can. Probably won't get to stay all the way until the nighttime, but I'll stay for most of Saturday. So, come see me at Fun and Sun on Saturday. You can probably find me in the Smash Tech booth. Come check out me and my boy Heath Taylor. We can talk about how to catch 100 pounds on a stinking straight tail worm that Heath makes. Or swim bait fish or something like that. A-Mart is going to be talking. Who listens to that nerd? A-Mart. Will I be going to iCast in July? Do not know yet. Depends. I've got so many things going on off the water business-wise this year. that normally I would say no, just because I'm not a big iCast guy. But with everything we've got going, I have no idea. So the iPhone situation on the app. Here's the iPhone situation on the app. Apple sucks. That's the iPhone situation on the app. I'm thinking worst case scenario at this point, we should be a couple weeks out on the iPhone version. Worst case scenario. Hopefully some things break loose. Have some conversations with Apple that go our way, and maybe it can be ready sooner than that. It's all a matter of when they decide to actually pick up the telephone and the answer they give us when they do pick up the telephone. Which Fun and Son? We're at Fun and Son in Hurst, where the tackle show is. That's where we're going to be. Do I read fishing reports? Are they ever accurate? It depends. Sometimes. I mean, I don't really read fishing reports per se, but I do pay attention to like certain things. Like I pay more attention to what guys are doing, like guys that I know and trust. I see them, like guys that I know that are upfront and awesome about things. I see them, they say they're catching them on lipless crankbait. Well, I know they're biting a lipless crankbait. But as far as like those reports where you can go to like ETS systems and read, that's mostly sponsor plug and self-promotion. It's garbage. The best place to get a fishing report is from somebody that's doing a video. Like what we do, and I'm not saying mine, but somebody that does something like what we do, where it's every week content, because I can't really lie to you about what I'm catching or how I'm catching it. It's on camera. Like that's kind of the best way to get your fishing report today, like these days. Heath Taylor has the best customer service, hands down. Hayden at 6 cents is awesome as well. That is true. Both those guys are solid. Solid. And it's why I love working with them. I don't work with anybody I don't have personal relationships with, I don't trust, know, and put my full backing behind. And those guys, I have no problem putting my full backing behind them because they're awesome. Did you find that bass still hold in subsurface hydrilla that was green and thick in the summer, but now is still green but very thin? They're going to hold to the thickest, healthiest grass they can. So it's if the thin stuff is all they got, they're going to use it. But if they have healthier, thicker grass in the area, they're going to abandon that thin stuff and go to that thicker stuff. That's one of the big deals for me right now as I'm going through these grass flats is I'm having to really search through them with a fine-tooth comb to find the thick, healthy grass. And then when I do, I slow way down and fish the area very methodically to catch those fish. How often do I change out my fluorocarbon line from your bait catcher? Depends on the time of year, depends on the technique I'm using. Like the fluorocarbon on my jig rod stays on there forever. The fluorocarbon on, you know, a moving bait rod that I'm throwing maybe swim baits on or something like that, it doesn't last as long. What brand of fluorocarbon do I like? I use Seaguar Red Label. What's my go-to bait right now? Lipless crankbait or a chatterbait? One of the two. Either one. Flip a coin. Just depends on what day it is. What temp does the grass start dying, or does it? Well, it does die. I call it, it dies back. It doesn't die. It just kind of knocks it down and it shortens it up, thins it out. As far as what temperature that starts happening, I would say the lower half of the 50s is kind of when that starts to, where the grass starts to really thin out, where you can visibly see it start to thin out. When the water temps get in the 40s, it really starts to thin out and die off a little bit. But usually the grass holds up and there's still some there, and that's what we fish all winter, you know. Can you get a signed hat, bro? I have to buy my own hats. Like, if you want to send me a hat for me to sign, I will absolutely sign a hat and send it right back to you if you want to send me a hat. Or a signed lure. Yeah, we can do that. I'll tell you what, if you can, come see me at Fun and Sun and we can get you a signed lure. We'll get you something, bud. Just find a way to reach out to me. Meet me in person at Fun and Sun if you're going to be in Dallas this weekend or Fort Worth. I'll be there Saturday, most of the day on Saturday at the Fun and Sun Tackle Show in Hurst, Texas. And yeah, absolutely, we can do something like that. I have a medium spinning rod for panfish with what is the best line for that? Dog, all I do is catch biggins. I wouldn't know nothing about no panfish or medium spinning rods or girls fishing gear. I don't know about any of that stuff, dog. I'm sorry. It's just not my forte, man. What's my go-to bait after a cold front? Well, right now it's a lipless crankbait or a chatterbait. I'm a firm believer that when conditions get extreme, your fishing needs to get extreme. And what I mean by that is when the water gets extremely cold, you get extremely post-frontal, the fish kind of shut down, you either have to go extremely finesse or extremely reactive. Ripping a chatterbait or a trap from grass makes a lot of noise. It's sudden movement. It's an extremely reactive type bite. That movement ADX is an extremely reactive type bait, the way it bounces off wood and all that. So I like to go extremely reactive more than most because I'm a power fisherman kind of guy. Now, you can't go extreme finesse. You can go drop shot, and you can go wacky worm, go little bitty tiny baits, and you can do the other thing like they did in the Classic a few years ago when they were doing that fish head spin and just holding it still. And, you can go extreme finesse, but when the weather's extreme, then your tactics need to be extreme, and they can go either way, but they need to be extreme. Big lines, big baits, big rods, and boat flipping biggins. That's me. We should change the channel name to that right there. We do that. Talon or Power Pole, pro and con. I'm a Power Pole guy. And I'll tell you why. The reason I'm a Power Pole guy is... What's going on here, man? I got something crazy happening with my screen. The reason I'm a power pole guy is noise. When those talons are down, they're constantly readjusting. They're constantly making noise. They're louder than the power pole is to begin with. And when I'm in shallow water and I'm trying to be kind of stealthy, the whole point of having shallow water anchors is to be quiet and let the fish that you're there so that you can catch them better. 100% I'm a power pole guy because of noise and dependability. Them talons break a lot, and you can't fix them as easy because they're all in a box instead of being an open apparatus that you can kind of work on if you need to. Please tell me there's going to be bulk bins of bubble fries. I know there'll be plenty of bubble fries. I don't know about bulk bins, but Heath Taylor's bringing some bubble fries. I promise you that. Kevin Jones, this is the signal. Hey, everybody stop right now. Round of applause. I'm holding the phone with one hand, so I don't have two free hands, but round of applause for the East Texas Wi-Fi tonight. Holding up, hanging in there, keeping us going 24 minutes strong. That's awesome. Everybody's dropping clapping comments. That's awesome. You guys are so cool, man. Man, y'all are awesome. Y'all are funny. The new poacher or A-rig around the edge of grass for monsters in the winter. Oh, A-rig in the winter. I could go either way there, but in the wintertime, man, it's hard to beat an A-rig. My friend from California is coming to visit in 2 weeks. Anywhere you recommend I take him? Lakes, attraction, food, stores, anything. Lakes, Welsh, and Brandy Branch. Two great lakes to visit right now. Brandy Branch, they're spawning like crazy. And there's some giants in Brandy Branch. So check out Brandy Branch for sure as far as the fishing goes. Food. He's from California, so he's got to go to Whataburger. You got to take him to Whataburger. He doesn't know what it is. He doesn't know it exists. Go ruin his life. Take him to Whataburger. You should probably take the California boy to a concert at Billy Bob's in Fort Worth while he's here at least once. That would be cool. That'd be cool. Is this cap on the six inch? Actually, this was a Billy Lawson original, but yeah, it is now. This hat right here is now on the 6 inch website. I actually had Mr. Hayden rig this one up and kind of customize it with the multicam with the hashtag Murica patch. So yeah, right there. That is on the website. That's one that I actually kind of got to put together myself. Somebody asked, do I know where to find good used outboard engines? Eesh, I don't, man. You know, I work with Nautical Mile Marine, but they deal with all new stuff. I don't know where to find a used engine. I do not know that. Yeah, Welsh is somebody said Welsh is always packed, but it still delivers fish. I've never seen it. I've never seen in my life a body of water hold up to the pressure the way that Lake Welsh does. It gets filled up with boats so crazy, and it just kicks them out every day. Every day, keep catching. Everybody's catching them. It's crazy. Yeah. Somebody said they think Welsh fish is better when it's busting with boats. You get some fish all stirred up, man. All them outboards, get them going. Launch fee on Welsh? There is no launch fee on Welsh. Zero doll hairs is what it costs to launch on Welsh. Another warm front coming. I like warm fronts. Warm fronts are good. I like warm trends in the wintertime. We catch giants when that happens. If you look like in the wintertime when like these giant bass are caught, when somebody's like, oh man, there was 2 13-pounders caught this weekend, promise you there was a warm trend every time. It's like science and stuff. Above my pay grade is what I'm saying. Do I fish Athens? I do fish Athens. I haven't fished Athens in a very long time at this point, but I do fish Athens. I will go there to sight fish some this year. I always go there at least once or twice to sight fish because it's got such clear water and it's got big fish, and I really like sight fishing on Athens. And sometimes I go for, throughout the year to Athens. I just haven't been much this year after sight fishing. What would be a good beginner bass fishing rig? Well, that's going to depend on your budget more than anything else. The best one you can afford would be the answer to that. But, man, there's a lot of good used boats out there. I hate to tell anybody to buy a used boat like that's out of warranty because, man, you can get into, stuff's always breaking on boats. And so when you buy like an older boat that has no warranty coverage, you never know what you're going to get into. I've been down that road. I think everybody that's been in this game has been down that road. Man, I will not buy a boat that is not covered by warranty anymore. So if you can afford to finance out a boat that's got warranty and then resell it a couple years later, that's absolutely what I suggest doing. But a beginner boat, just get one of the smaller Skeeters like the TZX models. Man, they're freaking awesome. I mean, they're shorter, but they're the same quality boat. Have I ever ran a Humminbird unit? Yes, I've had Humminbirds, and no, I will never have them again. Tournament on Lone Star Lake Saturday. Any suggestions? I've been on Lone Star like for 2 hours ever, and there was a whole bunch of hydrilla. So I would definitely be working the edges of that. The first thing I would do when I went to Lone Star would be get that lipless crankbait out and go to working the edges of that hydrilla, because the lipless crankbait just works everywhere in East Texas and everywhere that has grass in the wintertime, and so that's what I would do. Have I seen anyone using Garmin LifeScope? I've seen some video of Garmin LifeScope being used, and it is amazing. Amazing. Billy, what is a good rod and reel setup for a chatterbait, rattle trap, and a jig? On my chatterbaits and rattle traps, I actually, because I throw them in so much grass, and we've just kind of gone over this last couple weeks on the Guys Network episodes, but I use 6 Lux rods, and the 7.3 heavy, and it says that it has a fast action tip, but there's a little more whip to that tip, if you know what I mean, than you might believe at first sight there. But it's a 7.3 heavy rod, but it's got a tip. It's got some bend in the tip. It's got a thin tip. Got a little flex to it. That's what I use for my chatterbaits and my traps. Use it with 30-pound braid. Rip it out of grass. Ease it into their mouth. Don't set the hook real hard when they bite. Just kind of reel set them. And, man, it works great. It keeps me really efficient in grass, and it helps me land a lot of fish. That way, you just got to be careful not set the hook too hard when they bite with that setup, or you'll lose fish. Now, for a jig, my rod is the 7.5 extra heavy scrape stick, as I like to call it. Right. The 7.5 extra heavy 6 Lux rod with 20-pound fluorocarbon. Put that thing down in that heavy cover. When he bites, jerk him up right now, flip him in the boat, and don't look back, Jack. Lawrence is coming out with something similar to LifeScope, I believe. You know, I'll be the last one to get it because that's like what I do. I'm like the last guy to get all the new tech stuff. That's just me. So, hey guys, I'm going to go ahead and start trying to wrap this thing up, man. Unbelievable audience tonight. We had good Wi-Fi signal. We had good questions. We had a bunch of folks in here. I know we took a 2-week break. Man, I'm glad y'all are back. We'll be going forward doing this every Thursday night throughout the year, bringing you the best baits for each week for your fishing adventures in East Texas, and I'll answer your questions no matter where you're from. And, man, can't say thank you to you guys enough. Y'all are so awesome. Really proud of what we've built here. And it's small as far as, you know, the big scale of things go, but it's a big deal to me because we got a bunch of dudes in here that love fishing, and we're all really passionate. Fishing is life to all of us. And it's just awesome to have a bunch of like-minded guys that are open with sharing. And, man, it's unbelievable. It's just cool to be a part of. I'm really glad that you guys let me be a part of it with you the way you do. So, thank y'all so much. Come by Fun and Sun this weekend and see me. Check out the new Lyfe app. Be watching for the iPhone version. It's coming just as soon as we can possibly get it out. And we're going to make sure that we make that the best fishing information that money can possibly buy. I'll never stop working as hard as I can to bring you guys that kind of content, be it on a video, be it on an app, whatever it may be. And when it comes to the apparel and all the other stuff, you guys can always rest assured that when you buy something from us, it's going to be the very best quality equipment you can get, gear, shirt, whatever it may be, for a fair price. That's what we're always going to bring to you. That's what we've brought to you from day one. Those of you that have bought the apparel we've sold in the past can vouch for this. We don't sell nothing that's not top of the line. And we're going to give you a fair price on it. It may be a little bit higher than some other shirts, but it's a better quality product for a fair price. It's kind of what we like to do. So, anyways, thank you guys so much. Hope to see y'all out there this weekend. If not, go catch a million gazillion bass, and we'll see you next time right here on your Lake Fork Guide.